Hey, my name is Dan McDonald and I am the Life Regenerator here on YouTube. Today we're going to be discussing how to dissolve biofilm mucus to kill parasites, viruses, bacteria, fungus, yeast, and mold. So I'm going to be discussing, and I'm going to try to keep it in within 45 minutes so I can put this up on Facebook. Once you go past 45 minutes, you can't put it up on Facebook. So I'll try to be succinct. I cut a little corners today, but I'm going to share the information with you. It's a protocol to help you get your gut completely cleansed and healed. And before I forget, I'm going to pull out the secret ingredient here. Boom. For the Microbiome Salad at the end, we're going to do a couple juices here. I'm actually going to make my breakfast, although it's not really my breakfast. It's actually noon. And I just finished a hot yoga class, so I want to replenish, and then I'm going to go out hiking. So what I'm going to do is put together the cellulite melter today, which is also a Class A solvent. That's what we're working on today, folks. The mucus builds up, it clogs up circulation, and it inhibits oxygen and nutrient utilization in the tissues. Then you have lethargy. The ATP's not functioning as well. You don't have as much energy, and you begin to bog down. So what we're trying to do is use these juices and herbs and enzymes to break up the biofilms, which is the reason why we have these chronic replicating infections over and over again. And it's going to take some work because some of the biofilms are a little bit more hardier than others, and they seem to be getting hardier and hardier because they utilize a lot of the toxins in the environment to fortify these biofilms that are made out of polysaccharides via nature. But then what they'll do is use different types of heavy metals and microplastics, etc. So what we're doing today is we want to dissolve the biofilms and detoxify the toxins and create an environment basically where these critters are no longer necessary. Parasites, fungus, bacteria, yeast, molds, they're not really a bad thing. They're only there because the conditions are favorable for them to be there. And they must be there in case you ever find yourself in unfavorable conditions. What we find is that most humans consume and live in a way that is non-beneficial and creates those conditions for there to be a proliferation and of those different I'm not going to say non-beneficial microorganisms, because at a certain point of the mucus buildup, they kind of keep you alive. But they also make you sick as well because they're eating up the thick waste. But the problem is that they are also eliminating massive amounts of acidic toxins, causing brain fog and depression and cloudy thinking and a depressive mood. So the more you build up and regenerate the microbiome and enhance the energetics, see, more light in the gut is less parasites, bacteria, viruses, yeast, molds, and fungus, etc. Can you dig it? So we're trying to promote the eating of the living foods, which contains the living light, because it's part of the circuit. Like these citrus fruits, for example, you've got the root of the tree, that's the grounding. You've got the trunk, okay, so that's the delivery mechanism of that grounding. You've got the leaves, those are picking up the solar radiation from the sun. Then the flower blossoms, a little flower pops out of there, and then out of that flower comes these fruits, out of that electrical current of life. And then boom, you pluck it off the tree and you eat it, or in this case, we're using juicing as a therapy. Juicing is just something that has transformed my life. I love it. There are other ways to approach this, of course, enhancing the electricity. But juicing is the quick way to make this happen because the solvent properties, the living water, the electricity, the absorbability of nutrients, you can feel better faster, but you can also feel crappier faster too, because you're rinsing out the junk, and as you dissolve the junk, it goes into the bloodstream to go into the kidneys to be filtered out. So you may go on this juice program and feel worse before you get better, but if you stay the course, there will be days where you have these huge bowel movements. A week, a month, 6 months, a year into it, in order for the consciousness and the energy that's so tight, and the sludge and the slime, the energetics to release. But you got to stay with it. Okay, you got to stay through the uncomfortable times to get through to the other side, to where you actually feel really great. And then these foods don't even detoxify you anymore. The only thing you can do to detoxify any deeper is water only fasting. That's where you want to get to, using the juicing and the raw foods and the lifestyle and the exercise and the sleep and the body work and the essential oils and everything else that you can use and utilize as a natural therapy for your own regeneration, because that's what we're doing. The masses of humanity are degenerating, but the small group of individuals who see the light within themselves and want to have the highest expression and be their best and have a reason to live for their kids, to live for their wife, to live for their job, to live for their purpose, whatever it is, a reason to be your best. You got to have that. Then you clean all this junk out of you and you actually feel fantastic, and you really don't want anything, because once you have health and once you have connection to the source, you have everything. And then you stop looking outside yourself, and then you can just serve outside yourself from the power flow that comes from within. So let's get started. I'm going to talk about my $97 birthday bash sale throughout, just letting you know that there's a ton of recipes over there that you can use in a bunch of different protocols, kind of going over the same ideas over and over and over again. So if you haven't picked up my $97 full tuition sale right now, do not miss it. It is a lot of content for a very little bit of money. Paying $97 for that content, if you watch it and apply it, it's like paying a penny, because this information, this knowledge, this lifestyle, this understanding, this raw is law understanding, because all of nature is 100% raw, and then the humans are overweight, obese, diabetes, every kind of problem, fungus, putrefaction, rancidification, massive amounts of biofilm, stuffy head, stuffy neck, stuffy thyroid, stuffy adrenals, stuffy heart, stuffy lungs, clogged up and degenerating at a breakneck speed. And each generation gets progressively and progressively worse as the expression of the DNA. We need dudes like me to be making babies, you know what I'm saying, with clean, clear, high vibrational genetics. You need to do that too. Be a savior of humanity instead of a downhill kind of dysmorphing out by eating all the pizza and the ice cream and the foods that have the information and energy that dislodge your being, that unravel your DNA and turn you kind of into a pudgy, slow, sad person. You want to be pinging, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we do here today. So let's get your gut cleaned out. Let's detoxify the parasites. Let's detoxify the bacteria, these solvents, microplastic, brain toxins, inflammation, viruses, antibiotics, and all the other environmental pollutants. Let's get on it, okay? So I am going to be pumping out some juice here. Like I said, I got to keep it under 45 minutes, but I should be able to, once I make my initial, this is crazy guy, initial, thing there to get you excited, then we just chill out. We get into the data here. This is my juice for the morning, and I need it so bad. I've already drank 2 juices. I had a nice blood purifier, or the Heal All juice. And then I had a cucumber, cilantro, coconut, and lime while I was at yoga. So this recipe here, the cellulite melter, or the biofilm dissolver, whatever you want to call it, because it's one of the best solvent juices that there is. That is grapefruit, orange, lemon, and lime. If you have Tangelo, bring it in. If you have mandarin, bring it in. All the citrus fruits, mix them together. And if you don't do well with the sugars because you're so clogged up, once you get clean, you absorb sugars very easily. But if you have too much sludge, slime, you will, if you take too much sugar, it won't be able to be absorbed into the tissues because of the fake fats and the fried fats and the low quality oils that are in the bloodstream and surrounding and coating each of the individual cells. But as soon as you get into a higher live vibrational diet, you'll be able to absorb a lot of sugar. You'll have carbs. You'll be able to absorb the fat because your gallbladder will be functioning optimally, and along with your liver. And you'll also be able to absorb protein because you'll have a very healthy gut microbiome by utilizing these medicines that we're going to be talking about today. So this is the cellulite melter, is the old classic version. I mean, you know, anything that sounds good, it's all marketing really, but it's basically like a citrus solvent, blood purifying, microbiome, you know, polysaccharide biofilm dissolver, okay? I was just going to say though, you can make this with this kind of juicer or this kind of juicer or any kind of juicer, and then add some ginger or some cayenne to take it up to another level. And if you're not able to absorb the sugars, like I just talked about, you can dilute this down and start slow. So you could take a jar and fill it 3/4 with water and 1/4 with this mixture. Start with that. It'll be a little slower, more water, less sugar, but you'll still have those dissolving and solvent properties to clean out the mucus and the lymph and the biofilms, along with these herbs I'm going to share with you. And then you can go like half and half. Then you can go 1/4 water, 3/4 juice. And then when you finally get to the top tier, you can just chug back a quart of citrus juice and like fill your body with sunlight. And then you go out and play, which I'm going to do next. When I drink this, I'm going to go for a long hike around Lynx Lake, make a video out there. So I'm plugging away at this video marathon because I'm promoting my 48th birthday bash lifetime of work sale, which is a full tuition to my online school for only 97 bucks. So in other words, like hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of hours of content, of audios, videos, never before seen on the internet, only available on my website, all the booklets, all the recipe guides and everything, all the protocols. So you get everything I've ever produced in the last 10 years for $97. It's a no-brainer. It's like literally paying a penny. That's only if you apply the knowledge. You have to actually do something with it. Too many people accumulate knowledge and don't act upon it. And that's what has, classically been called the fool. You know what I mean? So that's why life is good, because if you learn and apply that knowledge and do not go back on it just because it's inconvenient, you might be able to not do it all right now, but you should at least practice it as the best as you can. And that way, you ain't no fool. So learn and then implement and find the motivation within you. And it comes back to love. Do you love life? Do you have a purpose? And so what you want to do is save up all your energy. You kind of got to get sober. And you got to quit wasting your energy so that you have a strong mind, so that you can connect to the Most High, so that you can find the motivation within you, find the reason to live. Like I said, is it your wife? Is it your kids? Is it your job? Is it your purpose? Is it hungry kids in Africa? I mean, whatever your purpose is, we need you, the all in all of us together as one. We need you to be at your best. Period. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to save the world, save yourself. If you want to make the world the best place that it can be, then you got to be the best that you can be. And we are waiting on you for that. That's all we want from you. That's all I do. Because we are really all in this together. Can you dig it? And so, just do the best you can with this knowledge, because eating right, I don't know anyone that does it. I know a few people eating right. There's no wrong way to eat, but eating consciously, conscious eating. And then there's no judgment. People are always like, why are you against this? Why are you against that? I'm not against anything. Eat whatever you want and be happy. I'm just saying that I've done this raw thing for 22 years, this juicing thing for 30 years. I'm just saying, I don't mind being thin and having an incredible amount of energy and a radiant glow. I don't mind having that. I could put on some muscle and look bigger, but I would lose that glow, that clarity. So I've learned over the years, it's either like 175 or 180, look a little bit better for the Instagram, or 165 and just ripped and just super high energy. And I'm like, I'd rather be skinny. So I'm a little bit lighter than I usually am, because I usually try to before, for the social media, I'd be like, oh, I want to weigh at least like 170, 175. So I pump myself with so much food. Well, that's not the way, man. That isn't the way. Most people want to get thinner, but if you want to gain some weight, you can. But what you want to do, what we're doing, is we are getting back to the original blueprint, that then that electromagnetic force field energy is what basically sings, and then those vibrations hit the chords of the DNA, and then the DNA expresses itself in your body according to the vibration that you are emanating at your soul essence, which has a lot to do with the food that you eat. So are you singing and expressing your DNA and getting back to your original blueprint that's expressing itself healthfully, and then you'll be at the right shape and size for the way that the Creator created you. Instead of saying, I need to be bigger or I need to be smaller, you may want to just not think of it in terms of weight loss or weight gain, but getting to your ideal where your blueprint is harmonized. And that really can be helped a lot, not only by your thoughts and emotions, but by the food that you eat. And that's where most of the people are going wrong. You know, we all know the people that are like really overweight but have a great heart. Well, they're still happy and they have the nice, beautiful face because their heart. You know, beauty is a light in the heart, and that's a very important part. But also, you know, it's hard for them to climb a flight of stairs. So they would be the ones that would want to clean their gut out. Then their heart would even be better because they would have more, you know, ability to emanate and more production. Because if you're really that overweight, it can be difficult. Or people have a real positive mind state and bad emotions and a good diet. So what we're trying to do is harmonize, I think they're like the three main pillars. The gut, which affects the brain. Then you want to master the brain, master the mind, master the thoughts, be in control, you know. It is good to control them, and to master them brings happiness. And then the heart is the most powerful resonant energy field of all. But we want to make sure that we're hitting the bases on all of those so we can be healthy in our gut, which makes us be healthy in our thought emanations, in the consciousness waves that come up from the diet via the microbes that emanate all these microscopic kind of little information into your bloodstream. So then you can be like, well, I don't feel so good today, I'm kind of depressed. Or, you know, that's from the McDonald's. You go to McDonald's to the drive-thru, I don't really feel that great, man. Or you have some orange juice and, you know, whatever. A couple oranges, or just food that's harmonized. Anything, all the fresh, wholesome foods that haven't been through the industrialized processing for profit, which is restaurants, food stuff in the bags, boxes, and cans. So the best thing you can do is get into the habit, I'm going to the farmer's market, I'm going to buy some produce, and that's what I'm going to eat. Or I'm going to go to the market and buy produce and eat that. Because that's real food that hasn't been poisoned. And you try to find organic. It doesn't always have to be 100% organic, but you have to trust your sources. So you got to get an education. So you got to get the information on my website so that you can brainwash yourself. I call it reverse brainwashing. You brainwash yourself with positive stuff until you find yourself subconsciously going to the market to buy produce to make dinner. Then you have unpoisoned food that you bring home and drink and make yourself. You make juices, you make smoothies, you make salads, you make entrees, you make desserts. Natural desserts, bananas and dates, frozen ice cream, which I rarely ever eat or anything like that, but there's a lot of great recipes. There's ice cream recipes on there made out of almonds and coconut. I mean, I have it all on there. Smoothies, juices, salads, entrees, desserts. Hundreds, if not thousands of recipes available on my website. You learn all that stuff, it's the next level. So here's the next level, can you dig it? We're finally getting into the protocol. I'm gonna need some breakfast, dude. So put this out of the way, can you dig it? I'm only gonna make that one juice. I have another juice I'm gonna use as a prop that I made this morning, because otherwise I'd pull this bad boy out, because it's juice, salad. That's the microbiome protocol, the biofilm dissolver protocol. We are dissolving biofilms, and then we are going to recolonize the microbiome through this methodology. How did I learn this? Well, I got food poisoning once at a festival, and everybody else did, and my immune system was really low because I had a lot of stress in my life. Hint, hint, get rid of all the drama and all the stress as much as you can. Minimize your life, you know what I'm saying? And then my immune system was so low that everybody else got better after 2 or 3 days, but I got really, really sick because I had the broken heart, I had the insane psychotic vegans, I had the insane psychotic stalker all day, every day for 7 years. So I was really, really on the DL. And then I had to go to the hospital because it just got all funky. And they almost killed me with antibiotics. And that was about 8 years ago, probably 8 or 9 years ago. And I had to, when they blasted me with so many antibiotics under guard, there was a guard outside, and I'm gonna leave. Like, you can't leave. So that's how they do it. And these places are totally nuts and totally insane. Like, the reason why I talk about health is because if you're healthy, you'll never need medical care. So I never give medical advice. I'm not authorized to do so. I would never want to do that anyways myself, unless it was an absolute emergency, then I will take some. And I had an emergency, And I learned later what I did wrong. What I was doing wrong was, I should have just left and I had so much responsibility. The whole world was on my shoulders. I've learned since then. That'll ruin your immune system because you get stuck in fight or flight. And so the sympathetic nervous system is just funky. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the parasympathetic is just funky. And you got to be harmonized and balanced and cool and well rested and not stressed out. But anyways, the whole point of that whole big long story was to tell you that they gave me like so many antibiotics that they literally napalmed and destroyed my gut. And it took me about 2 years to recover. I had no attention span. I had no strength, no power, no energy, no digestion, super depressed. And I had to rebuild myself as a pale, white, sickly stick figure who had been napalmed, because believe it or not, the antibiotics are actually pesticides that they used in the war. They sprayed it on top of everybody and it killed all the plants, well, it kills all the bugs. And so it kills all the bugs, and the microscopic, the macroscopic, the nanoscopic, at the level of the low vibration of pesticides. And that's one of the biggest things. That's why organic food, grow your own, go to a farmer, say, hey man, do you spray? No, I do not. See these little bug holes? It makes the food ugly. There's little the little bugs, but if you spray it with chemicals, it's gonna screw you up. So I had to learn how to regenerate my microbiome, and then I became a gut regeneration expert. Now my digestion is insane, my energy is insane. I have a non-stoppable, indestructible digestion by doing all of these suggestions. Paradigm over and over again. I'll get into that in a second. Juicing every day. And then over here, I've got the Microbiome Salad, the Microbiome Regenerator Salad, okay? Gut health determines brain function and immunity. So take care of your gut. Have I said it enough? Okay, I'm just making sure. I just want to transmit. I've been through hell, baby. I've been through hell, okay? I came from the streets, man. Like, I'm street smart, hardcore, like way low, dude. So I'm your dude, man. Like, if I can do it, anybody can do it, man. Because this is cool stuff. So regenerateyourlife.org. That's the name of my website, by the way. What do we got? Okay, we're almost there. I'm just going to hit this. So I go like this. Just a little bit. Now I'm going to go with the capsules of the cleanse. This is the first step in the microbiome protocol, man. And this is for people that just have a gut. Overweight. This cleanse is going to clean you out. It might take a while. It can take a couple days, a couple weeks, a couple months of daily use before you have the big one. You're like, hallelujah. So you keep taking it every day. It's amazing. It's got herbs that'll soften everything up, all the hardened masses of mucus and the fecal matter that's turned into cement and stone in many, many people. Start the process of softening the biofilms as well. It's got some bitters, so there's some astringents, but it's got corn silk and Cascara sagrada, and then the psyllium and the hibiscus kind of bulk up a little bit, and they start the process of pulling that junk out of there. So this is an herbal product that softens and bulks and then moves. Instead of these harsh laxatives where it's like blowout, but you didn't really solve, it just all the reason why they're kind of toxic. So the body is like, oh God, we got to get rid of this. So it expels the laxative poisons along with some of the waste matter. But if you soften it and dissolve it with herbs and foods and fibers and living water, then you're going to have a real transformation of your gut. Do not lose patience. Be what I call eternally persistent. What are you going to do? Just get to be like, oh, at 55, I'm going to quit taking care of myself and not caring anymore? No, man. You're going to care and love for your body and your frame as it ages and changes. Sometimes it gets better, to be honest with you. I have more energy now at 48 than I did at 28, okay? I will tell you that 100%. I've done a lot. Someday I'll open up about what I've done, all this stuff. It's crazy. Spent a lot of money, worked very hard to work through these protocols and stuff. You know, it ain't easy, man. I mean, I still crave everything under the sun, but I just say no. You know, most the time I get away unscathed. When you get depressed or you get sad, you're like, oh, no, this or that, no problem. But it's off the course, man. So stay the course even on your down days, and you will be glad you did, because you'll wake up and be proud of yourself the next day for not giving in to the cravings. So I'm just going to do a couple today. Sometimes if I really want to do the super blaster, I'll do like 3 or maybe even 4. But then you're chugging a pretty gnarly, thick thing down. But I'll leave these up as little props. So that's the powder, what I'm doing today. Some days I'm in more of a hurry and I don't want to take the time to mix it. I'll just take the caps. If I were you, I'd get both and make sure you got a nice stash of this around. Anybody who's got any kind of gut problems or anybody who's overweight needs like 2 of each in the cupboard at all times and just constantly going through it, because it will over time, and then there'll be the day when you'll have the mother load blowout and you'll feel it. I've had it a couple of times. You'll be like, oh my God, you just pooped out like that cheeseburger you ate in 1980. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll be like, oh my God, there was a lot of stress and old memories, bio-memories in the colon, okay? Repeating themselves over and over again as a vibrational frequency. As soon as you get all this junk out through the various means, the detoxing and the fasting and the juicing and the body work and the colonics and the enzymes and the herbs, boom, you'll start to change. You'll emit a different frequency, because all these things are the dark, old, sludgy slime, you know, parasites, bacteria, solvents, microplastic, brain toxins, inflammation in the body, antibiotics, and all the environmental pollutants we're talking about. So we're trying to detox so we can feel better and be happy. Can you dig it? Do not try that at home, kids. I'm a professional. No, I just knock it back, dude. That's all it takes. Aren't you supposed to enjoy that? It's a little bit bitter, but I've said it 100 times. The cleanse is kind of like 5 out of 10. It's not the worst thing. It's not the best thing. It will grow on you. Some people like it with just water. I like to use it with the citrus juice, apple juice, or watermelon juice, or just take the capsules. 8 capsules is 1 tablespoon. You know what I'm saying? So I did about 16 capsules with 2 of those tablespoons. Now we can do this, and then this will energize me for the hike. Oh, overloaded. Dude, those grapefruits are popping. That's a great synergy. Great, 30 minutes. I got 15 minutes left. DTM, can't you do this in under 45 minutes? We're gonna do it. Okay. So that's your first step, is any kind of juice. It's just, here's the thing. Here's the mucus dissolving biofilm program. Juice, salad. And if you need it, a fruit snack. You know, you're like, oh, this is going crazy, I'm going nuts. You eat a couple bananas, pop. You eat a little thing of tomatoes, 2 or 3 of those, whatever. A couple apples with raisins, you know. Another piece of citrus fruit, a pear, you know. So it's juice, salad. But first of all, first and foremost, I forgot to say, it's water. So wake up in the morning and drink at least 16 ounces, if not 32, like I do. Then, okay, now this is step 1, the cleanse. That's gonna get in there and it's gonna start working, and it kind of keeps you full. It gives you a feeling of fullness because it's got a lot of fiber and it bulks up. So it actually kind of holds you for a while till you get to step 2, which is, now I could have made another juice if I had like an hour and a half. Some of these videos I do, and I'll do another long one because I know there's a lot of people that love really long DTM videos. I just haven't had any time. I'm so busy living an epic life, okay? So that's no excuse. Yes, it is. You should live an epic life. You owe me nothing. Please go be free. I don't need anything from you. But if you want to watch these videos, that's great. I really appreciate it. So you get up and now you make another juice. So juice salad, whatever you got to do. Make it once all at once and clean the juicer and leave them in the fridge for a day, 2, 72 hours is pretty much my personal max. They will last 4 or 5 days. I recommend you keeping your juices under 72 hours. But it's best to make it and drink it just like this because that's when all the hydrogen and oxygen and the electricity is at its highest. The minerals have just been broken free. The vitamins, the antioxidants, just been broken out of the cell wall, their highest vibration, and as time passes, it loses that oxygen and that hydrogen and that electricity. So the best way to do it is juice and drink. Try to remember that, but then be realistic in your lifestyle. If you ain't gonna get it, like when I make cucumber juice or lemon ginger blast, I'll make 2 or 3 quarts, you know? And just leave it in the fridge for a day or 2, whatever. Do it, because it's better than any other dang option. Can you dig it? But it's just best if you are a real true master and you get like me, you know it, I'm making it fresh and I'm drinking it now, because that's the highest vibration. So second, that first one is 16 at least, 24, depends on your size, you know? For some of you, you're gonna be like 100 pounds or 110 pounds, and a 32 ouncer is gonna be way too much. So then you do like at least 16 juice. 24 is much better than that. And if you can do the 32 ounces, you're gonna find it's gonna hold you longer, you're gonna get more nutrition. But I recommend at least 24 to 32 ounces. And for most people, 32 ounces. And then for even bigger guys or bigger ladies that have a bigger appetite, you might even, sometimes I'll drink like a half a gallon of juice, 64 ounces, 2 of these jars. But this is pretty much a serving, you know? And try to get it done within, 10 or 15 minutes. Don't let your juice just sit there for an hour and a half on the table. Just make it a meal, get it done, 10 or 15 minutes, you're done and you're on with your day. Can you dig it? Okay, next. You have another juice. Whenever you have your water, then whatever schedule you've got, you have your first juice with your cleanse. Then later on, 2, 3, 4 hours later, depending upon your whole trip, and your whole head trip, and your whole lifestyle, your workout routine, your office, get a cooler. I got this bad boy. This is the small one, but if I was a trucker or a teacher or had a job working on the cable lines, or if I was on a freight train or working on Amtrak, or if I was a flight attendant or whatever, I'd have a bigger one than this. As big as it would let me, which would mean probably about twice the size. This holds 3 of these, actually. And then it's topped off way at the top, and it's boom, there's 3 of them in there, and it's like that, and I fill it with ice, and it lasts all day. But if I had to do if I was somebody else, I'd have a bigger cooler. I make plastic ice bottles, so you're not having to spend money on ice. You just use plastic water bottles, Fiji or whatever, and you just freeze those. Oh, when you got about 5 or 8 or 10 of those in your fridge, you put a couple of them in your cooler. It keeps your fruits, your vegetables, your juices cool all day long, and you just schlep that thing with you. You're like, what are you doing, Sharice? You're like, hey, I'm staying raw. I heard DTM. I don't want to be overweight and sick anymore. I'm dissolving biofilms, so I'm carrying around this cooler, and I don't give a damn what you think of me. Well, let's go out to Wendy's. No, no, no. I've got my grapes and I've got my bananas and I've got my little raw crackers and I've got a wonderful salad and it's so satisfying and filled with life. I don't need any of that other crap. Can you dig it? So then you have another juice and you've got your supplements with you. Now these are the enzymes. I'm taking these right now myself. Normally you want to spread it out with the cleanse and the enzymes, but for the sake of posterity, and we've got 10 minutes because I'm going to do this, 45. How am I going to make a microbiome salad? Damn it. Anyhow, I'm going to take pyrazine. These are going to break, these have protease, concentrated protease, which breaks up the biofilms where all the bacteria live. This is the herbal blood, which is antiparasitic, antiviral, antifungal, because it has the wormwood, the black walnut, the garlic, the rhubarb, the turmeric, the golden seal, the barberry, the butternut, and the fennel. And that is going to be the anti-parasite. If you're overweight, you've got parasites. Some people eat too much meat and don't balance that out. Some people eat too many carbs and don't balance that out. So you can have a variety of ranges of fungus and candidas, or worms and flukes and parasites. Whatever they are, just blast them out of there. You're raising up the light frequency and you're making it very uncomfortable, and they are like, we are getting the hell out of here. You're going to hit the surface, but as you get more and more cleaner, those biofilms are going to get thinner and thinner, because on the top surface, it's easy to knock those out of the way and get those out of the bloodstream. It's those dormant ones that are way deep down buried in a hibernation state. That's why the bacteria infections keep showing up. And like, why do I keep having this? Because the antibiotics don't work. They only hit the surface, and then they get stronger, and then they adapt, and then they build stronger biofilms, and then they resurface again. You've got to follow the law of life. There is no shortcut. The medical wants to be like, here, pop a pill, pay me my money. You ain't never going to get well. But then it's like, well, there's this dude DTM. He says, if you clean up everything, there's no possibility of disease at all. That's right, baby. So you take these bad boys, 8 of the pyrazine and 8 of the herbal blood. Finally, then what you do, let's move all that out of the way, but don't forget this. So you got it, juice, and now salad. Can I do a microbiome salad in 6 minutes? I think I might be able to pull this off, because because Facebook is 45 minutes. Otherwise, nope, too long, punk. You can't share your info. So this is going to be my salad tonight. Check it out. I got some nice lettuce mix here, and I got some nice mescaline mix here. So I like to mix it up. This is the microbiome salad. Any greens will work, my brothers and sisters. Any greens will work. Fresh greens. Okay, that's going to be too much mescaline mix, because that's what that is. Boom. I want some more lettuce. I don't want to go too heavy on the mescaline. So let me find. Here's a nice lettuce mix. This can be my delicious salad for the night. Boom, and maybe a little bit more. Okay, now let's add our accoutrements, which is going to make it awesome. And this is where we start to feed the beneficial gut bacteria. Okay, and I'm going to show you this stuff right quick. Are we going to be good? We got this. Come on, bro, you can do it. So we have all this goodness. Recycle the plastic bags. Okay, check it out. We have the Cuisinart 11-cup food processor. You can do this by hand. You can do it with the little tools. Oh my God, are we going to be able to pull this off? I hate to stress, but I do want to get these onto Facebook. So let's do a, oh, it fits. Oh my God, cool. I don't have to cut it. So that's a beet, okay? Beets, your microbes love beets. This is ginger. Your microbes love ginger, okay? Your microbes love purple carrots, yellow carrots, really sweet. Okay. We might even pull this off. All of that, man. All of that. Bah. I'm gonna mix all that up. Okay. So that was beets, carrots, ginger. Epic. Dude, that's looking good. I got some turnips here I never even had. But the dude at the market was like, oh dude, you gotta try these. And you know what? I mean, they are good, man. And these greens are really good too. My food combining is terrible today. The turnip greens. I mean, greens are good for your teeth and your gut. Stop eating. Make a video. So these little white turnips. I wish you could see. Maybe we'll do it. I'm just gonna. We're going big because we're gonna just have to get this done. It can be done. I only have a couple more things I have to share. You know, I can do this. I'm gonna shut it off at 45 minutes. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for taking an interest in your health. I really appreciate that. The more of us that are healthier, the better the planet's gonna be. Thank you everyone who purchased the Lifetime of Work sale. I sure appreciate it. Anyone who hasn't, go over to the trailer and check that out. Make sure you do not miss this because you can go watch the trailer and then you can see all the good stuff that you get on my website, all the educational materials that you get for 97 bucks, and you can take yourself to a whole new level. You know, you watch it, you'll have access to it for life because the DTM is only going to be here for so much longer. He's getting. So these are chives here, which are all onions are very good for the microbiome, as well as garlic. Can you dig it? So there you go. Now, also don't forget, this is going to be my dinner for the night. But you know what? So these are. Oh, I should have cleaned those. Oh well. I'll eat a few seeds. Those are sunflower green, microgreens, okay? And then, so I'm gonna leave it like that and just cover it with the plastic bag. I'm just gonna cover this so that I can have that for dinner tonight. I'm going out hiking right now. But what I'm gonna do later on, what I recommend is for a salad dressing is lemon, olive oil, and apple cider vinegar. Very beneficial to dissolve the biofilms. This can be a key component in the destruction and the dissolution and the softening. All the fruit acids, but this is acetic acid. It goes really well with the vegetables and the olive oil and the lemon to create just a solvent property with all this fiber. It'll just keep cleansing those biofilms and moving everything out of you. So you juice salad with fruit snacks. And then, finally, last but not least, right before bed, you chew on a handful of the Life Biotics, which is the probiotics, which just strengthens and enhances the microbiome. And it's really great to actually brush your teeth right after you chew those. So brush your teeth with probiotics and watch the health of your gums improve. So that is how to dissolve mucus biofilms to kill parasites, fungus, bacteria, yeast, and mold. We did it in under 45 minutes. I appreciate your time and attention. I appreciate everybody who checked out the sale and purchased that for my 48th birthday Lifetime of Work sale. I appreciate all of you very much. If there's anything I can do, let me know in the comments down below. I will see you on the next video. This is a video marathon, and I'm having the time of my life because I love to channel this divine knowledge. We got 40 seconds left. What should I do? What do I do for the next 30 seconds? What should I say? Oh my God, this is awkward. It's really weird. No, raw foods won't make you crazy. I've always been crazy, so don't worry about it, okay? I gotta walk over there for 10 seconds. I want to stop. Right exactly 45 minutes. Screw Facebook. I'm out of here, DTN. Love you.